Hello everyone, today on Spooky Wars we are looking at the animatronics from Five Nights at Freddy's versus the creatures from Bendy. This will definitely be a very interesting battle. And to start us off, we have everyone's favorite inky creature, the Ink Devil, Bendy. Now, the story of Bendy follows retired animator Henry Stein, who returns to his old studio, Joey Drew Studios, after receiving a letter from his former boss, Joey Drew. He finds the studio abandoned and corrupted by ink, where he must fight a living inky version of the character Bendy and other monstrous creatures brought to life by the studio's mysterious ink machine. Bendy and the other ink creatures were brought to life by the ink machine, where the ink machine used a mix of technology, magic, and human souls. Yeah, so Joey Drew thought using demonic magic was a good idea.
You are made of stupid.
Studio founder Joey Drew secretly had the machine built by the Gent Corporation to create real-life versions of his animated characters, which he planned to display at an amusement park. The machine's advanced engineering incorporated an arcane magical ink that could imbue creations with life. Bendy the Ink Demon was the very first attempt to bring the cartoon Bendy to life. However, since it was not imprinted with a human soul, the creature emerged as a grotesque and monstrous version of the character. After the first failure, Joey Drew decided that the machine needed human souls to create perfect replicas of his characters. He began sacrificing his own employees by running their souls through the ink machine. Deeming the Ink Demon a failure, Joey locked the creature away in the depths of the studio. This began the never-ending time loop known as the cycle. The Ink Demon became the main tormentor and antagonist within this twisted version of the studio, ruling over the corrupted workers trapped in its ink-filled halls. Now, not every creature was evil. There was Boris the Wolf, who helped us, but he didn't last long. And then there's Allison and Tom, who also helped us. And then you have Alice Angel. Remember how I said Boris didn't last long? Alice literally kidnapped him, tore out his body parts, and made this giant Frankenstein monster. Bro got some serious gain within a couple of minutes. Thankfully, Allison and Tom killed Alice and saved us. And after going through some serious trust issues, they do decide to help you throughout the game. And then you have other not nice ink creatures such as Sammy Lawrence. He literally worships the Ink Devil.
What the hell?
Sammy Lawrence literally knocks the player out and tries to sacrifice him, but it ends up backfiring on him, to where he unintentionally became the sacrifice. I guess that's what you could call it. Sammy's probably my favorite character from Bendy. He has those kind of weird neighbor vibes. And moving on, we have this giant evil living carousel. There's also the projector, who is literally just a camera guy. And if we had the creatures from Bendy in the Dark Revival, we would get this thing. A mutated monstrous Popeye the Sailor Man monster. Not to mention there's also the Butcher Gang and several other ink creatures. And now it's time we move on to the heavy hitter, none other than Bendy himself. Now, Bendy starts out as this cute little guy, but then he turns into this disfigured, taller ink demon. And then it only gets even worse because right before our eyes, he literally starts transforming into an even bigger, even more monstrous ink demon called Beast Bendy. It seems like a pretty fitting name. And bro literally swats us away like we're a friggin' fly. It couldn't get any worse, right? Wrong, because in Bendy and the Dark Revival, we meet Giga Chad Beast Bendy, a towering monster. And now we move on to Bendy's abilities. Superhuman strength and speed. Bendy has immense strength and speed, allowing him to easily overpower enemies and move at incredibly fast speeds. Regeneration. He can recover quickly even from damage that leaves him a fragmented mess. Teleportation. He can teleport short distances by moving through ink, often emerging from walls or ink puddles. Stamina. Bendy has seemingly limitless stamina, enabling him to patrol and search the studio endlessly. Other abilities. Corruption. He has the ability to deform living creatures with his touch. Intelligence and knowledge. He is an old and experienced being who uses his intellect to his advantage. Power to bring things to life. He can bring ink creatures and even his own clones to life. Ink manipulation. Shapeshifting. Bendy can change his form, such as extending his limb or transforming his fist into a wrecking ball. Creating objects. He can create weapons and other objects like axes or bombs out of ink. Ink puddles and clones. He can create pools of ink on the floor and form sentient clones of himself or others from ink. And that's it on Team Bendy. Now we move on to everyone's favorite animatronic robot bear, Freddy. Now the story in Five Nights at Freddy's is messed up. Now the story of Five Nights at Freddy's starts when this guy, William Afton, decides to pick up a new hobby of killing children.
What the heck?
Now William Afton was the proud owner of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. It was pretty much a Chuck E. Cheese. And whenever he would kill a child, he would stuff their body in one of the animatronic mascots. Well, the children's souls started to possess the animatronics. Well, they started to attack and injure people, leading to the restaurant being shut down. But William Afton didn't stop there. He would open more restaurants, more children would go missing, leading to more possessed animatronics. William Afton also had a family with 3 children, but his children would die as well. Elizabeth Afton, confirmed to be 5 years old, died by the animatronic circus baby in 1983. Evan Afton is estimated to be between 7 and 11 years old. He died when his older brother and his friends pulled a prank on his birthday, which ended up getting him killed. Evan died the same year as his sister. Now, for William Afton's oldest son, Michael Afton, he is approximately 14 to 16 years old, and he died twice. The first time he died when he had his organs removed, but stuff happened and he survived. But that whole thing made him look like a zombie afterwards. A purple zombie. The second time he died was in a fire. But it was all part of a plan to trap and destroy all the remaining haunted animatronics to free the souls trapped inside them. So he died trying to fix the sins of his father. Now, William Afton was both smart, but also kind of stupid. He would dress up as one of the old animatronic mascots to lure children away and kill them. But the mascot suits had spring locks in them. And if they go off while you're inside of it, you're dying or you're going to beg for death. Now, in a form of poetic justice, he would see the spirits of the children while he was in his spring lock suit. And one thing led to another, the spring locks go off and he dies. An agonizing death. But he becomes one of the animatronics. Also, the Five Nights at Freddy's movies is so great because Matt Pat's in it. But you know.
It's just a theory.
Now, there are an estimated 100 plus distinct animatronic characters across the main Five Nights at Freddy's games. And I highly doubt William Afton killed an entire generation of children. It is hard to figure out how many actual animatronics there are due to the hallucinations and the just the same animatronic wearing a different costume, but there are still a lot of animatronics. Now, a lot of the animatronics do have powers. Well, common powers at least. Enhanced speed and aggression. The animatronics move much faster than their daytime programming would suggest, with their aggression increasing significantly at night. Enhanced senses. They are able to see in the dark. Movement and pathing. Their movements are often dictated by their AI, but they can also appear in unexpected places, sometimes making their pathing inconsistent. Superhuman strength. The animatronics are capable of fatal jump scare attacks, which involves a scream and physical attack like strangulation or forcing a body into a suit. Teleportation. Some animatronics, like Golden Freddy, can teleport to move around the location. Hallucinations. The puppet and Golden Freddy can create illusions to confuse or harm the player. Possession. The puppet can bring other animatronics to life, while the mimic can take control of any free roaming animatronic. Supernatural or non-corporeal abilities. Golden Freddy can manifest as a non-corporeal being, suggesting a level of power beyond the physical machines. Other abilities. Some characters may have more specialized abilities, such as Funtime animatronics, having more complex endoskeletons for articulation, or the puppet causing other animatronics to attack, as shown with Helpy. And now it comes down to the battle. Team Bendy versus Team Freddy. I think Bendy would pull off the victory here. Now, the animatronics would have numbers on their side, but Team Bendy would have the power, the muscle, and everything else. And the odds wouldn't even be that bad if Bendy united all of the ink creatures, and by unite I mean scare into submission. I mean, yeah, the animatronics would plow through most of the ink creatures, but Giga Chad Beast Bendy would destroy the animatronics. Some of the only ones that would come close to being able to beat Bendy would have to be the Nightmare animatronics. But Bendy wouldn't be alone, he would have his own army at his side. And if there's ink around, he can make more ink soldiers. He could probably do that with the corpses of the fallen ink creatures. Bendy would just be far too powerful for any of them. And they had weapons. Alice had a freaking Tommy gun. No weaknesses would even need to be exploited in this battle. At least that's why I think Team Bendy would win. As always, let me know down in the comments what you think, and if there's any battles you would like to see next, please let me know. Please hit like and subscribe, live long and prosper, and stay spooky.